Welcome back to the Spicy Spotlight. Today, join us, we have the one, the only, the Don, City Attorney Christina, and Tiffany. Detective Tiffany. All right.
No, first up with wing number one. If your work life could have a theme song, what would it be? And before you answer, eat wing one.
Eat a wing.
Eat a wing. All right.
Eat a wing.
That's like sweet.
Okay.
Are you already
It's gonna
struggling?
be bad.
Already getting the heat?
We have
Yeah.
this is sweet, and we have what did I sign up for?
There's some heat. Anyway, work life. How to TV theme song. I feel like my work life theme song would probably be "I'll Be There" by the Rembrandts from Friends.
Good
It
choice.
seems to be I'm there. You call, I'm there. Somebody comes to my office, I'm there. Somebody says, why are you still at work? I'm still there.
Okay.
That's me.
You struggling with it?
This is gonna be bad. Okay, I'll go on the record and say that I'm not a fan of spicy food, and I rarely eat chicken wings. So this seems like a really good choice today.
I thought it was
We
good.
could have brought you dino nuggets.
Ooh, dino nuggets with some sauce on them would be good. These are good.
Yeah.
This is
If I had to
fun.
pick a theme song, I think it would be the X-Files, just because of the crazy stuff that I've experienced on a daily basis, whether that's from, just reading some crazy things that happen in police reports or attending some meetings. It can be a little bit crazy.
Crazy life.
X-Files, got it.
Tiffany
Yeah.
keeping you wild over there.
All right, so before we get to wing number two, if you had a superpower, what skill would set you apart? What is your superpower at work?
I'll let you answer first.
I was gonna say before you
So
answer.
before you answer, you gotta have wing number two.
Oh, hold on. I'm still eating wing number one.
I see that.
It's good.
Christina's
All right.
We gotta, it's good and
contemplating.
dying.
Yeah.
We got
Let's
to wing
see.
number two. Oh, wait. You got to eat wing number two
You gotta eat
first.
wing number two before you answer.
We're not laughing
Small
at your pain
bites.
over here.
Okay.
I feel like that's better than the first one.
Starting to escalate.
Isn't that what you deal with regularly? Is just escalation?
Yeah. That one's called
Yeah, but not in my
Hellfire.
mouth,
Hellfire for you.
This is what?
Hellfire.
That's what it's called.
Yep.
Aptly named, I think.
Yep, Chiba Gold was your first one. Hellfire's your second one. I would agree that Chiba Gold with a little cheese is kind of a nice little sweet.
This is a terrible idea.
Don't worry.
I'm already starting.
I'm sure we can find a few people that will really enjoy seeing you in pain.
Yeah. Okay, I can do
These
this.
aren't bad.
What? Ah, shit.
I had higher hopes.
Okay, there's a. Okay. Superpowers.
All right.
Can you go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. My superpower. Oh, it is. What's your superpower? at
What's your
work?
superpower?
My ability to talk is impressive. Would you agree?
Oh, we would agree.
I would.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I have an ability. That is my superpower. Is my mouth. Sometimes it's also a detriment.
Sometimes it's your downfall. It's kryptonite.
That sounds really bad, actually.
no, I'll plead the fifth. No comment. I would say that I think if you ask one of my staff, they would say that I have this ability to remember things that I did at work years ago, like just randomly,
Yep.
5 years ago. But oh yeah, we did that, and they'll look at me like, what? How do you remember that? So that would be just a weird. Not me. Something that's a weird super. It's like a weird superpower.
I would say it's a good superpower,
Not
though.
the
They're good.
best superpower, but a weird.
But a superpower
Yeah.
nonetheless.
And my mouth is still on fire. So just,
And it will be for a while.
Do you need some water?
I'm just gonna drink my almond milk.
We've never had almond milk on the show, so I'm interested to see how it does.
I hope it works.
I don't know if it would be good, but maybe.
Tastes like almond.
All right.
It may or may not settle down.
Yeah, it may or may not. Oh, boy.
Am I gonna have to answer all the questions first?
You're gonna have to
No,
be
next
first.
one's mine. Next one's mine.
Alrighty. Well, as we go into wing 3,
think she's
what's a myth about detectives or attorneys that you wish you could bust once and for all? And enjoy that wing
Can I
3.
answer it?
Yes.
All right, hold on. I gotta eat. I gotta eat this first.
'Cause I feel like there's a lot of myths out there.
I think the biggest one is that crime and court cases can be solved within 60 minutes from start to finish. You know that's true.
Oh, God, that's so true. Whew.
You don't just walk up to the whiteboard, see a few pictures, like, oh, that's what it is.
This one's like Chipotle.
This is one of my favorite ones. Like,
Yeah.
the flavor on it is just impeccable.
She's not gonna like this.
I know, she's giving me that look.
I would choose a word, but it wouldn't be impeccable.
As you
I
talk
am
about the 60-minute piece, we see it in computing too.
Yeah.
You know, they instantaneously hack into something.
I mean, you do.
You sit down
hack
and eat.
into my computer. I literally call you on the phone, and you are like, I'm like, oh, it says you're in my computer. You're like, yeah, I'm there.
Completely different.
Is it though?
It is completely different.
Seems the same to me.
Because if people from the
We
outside
already
get
have a
there,
doorway.
That would just, yeah.
Fair.
What about you, Christina?
Small bite.
Guys, oh, you guys, this is terrible. I would say, specifically about attorneys, is that we have banker's hours.
What? You don't?
I no. I can honestly say since been practicing 13 years now, I've been practicing, and I can say I've never just worked a 40-hour work week.
I've gotten emails from you at like random hours of the
Yeah,
night.
random
so.
hours of the night, maybe it's midnight.
I have called
we
you
have to
in the
be
middle of the night.
readily available for the police department if they have questions. So
We're needy.
they can be kind of needy, but I love them, so it's all good. But yeah, that can be.
You look like you're avoiding the skin right now there,
If you,
Tiffany.
no, I'll eat it. I thought it was gone.
I'm gonna need some more Land O'Lakes here pretty soon.
Do we need to DoorDash it? Like a whole gallon of milk?
You're supposed to have some in the street fair across the street. Oh, I'm not even eating a whole lot.
Am I
of it.
gonna need to hand my drink down there?
I offered you half of my.
Oh, I might just. I'm like starting to sweat. Okay. All right.
So banker's hours, we're busting that myth
Not
right there.
Not a thing.
Not a
thing
thing.
in
Does
my
not
world.
exist.
Nope.
I don't think it's a thing in like any of the criminal justice world because the judges come out at night.
Yep.
Or I mean, approve things at night.
Yeah.
You guys are called in the middle of the night. We're called in the middle of the night. I don't think that banker's hours exist for any of us.
No, not in our field.
I don't think in any type of public service type field, whether it be public safety or public works. I mean, we see it even on our side. where
Oh yeah.
To keep the systems running, we work whatever hours we have to.
Just trying to give you a break before we get to 4.
Yeah, before we roll on the wing number 4, we're looking for a funny moment now. I mean, this might be a funny, lighthearted moment to some of you, but funny, lighthearted moment in the job. What are we thinking?
This.
Christina's thinking, I signed up for something I shouldn't have.
Funny, lighthearted moment. Oh God.
None of mine are appropriate for
Funny, lighthearted moment.
public audiences.
So we've had, what, 3 different officers? Or we've had a sheriff,
We had sheriff, we had several police
police
officers.
officers.
Several
Yeah,
fire
but the
department.
appropriate thing's kind of hard, I guess, for you guys.
Yeah.
You might have to paraphrase.
You guys do pranks in the office?
We don't talk about pranks. Not that I've ever been involved in any. Maybe I have. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I would say some of our office shenanigans. But I don't know. Search warrants can be pretty funny and lighthearted sometimes. I mean, we're there for something serious, obviously, but like sometimes the things you find in other people's houses,
No, I could only imagine.
yeah, they're fun.
What about for you, Christina?
Ooh, I have one.
Good. Give me another 40-second reprieve.
I don't have one.
Use your superpower and talk a little more.
Still some space there.
When sometimes we forget to wear gloves, and not me, I wear gloves when I search people, but sometimes when we forget to wear gloves and you pull things out of people's pockets that you would probably never want to have touch your skin, you can't help but laugh at the person that just did that also might not know what they're holding on to. And they're like looking at it and you're like,
you might not want to hold that.
You probably want to drop that. It's been in a lot of places, I'm sure. Was that enough of a reprieve?
Oh, I don't.
This one's not bad. I took a bite. It's not bad. I think it's less than the other one.
It ramps down for a moment.
I feel like you're lying to me.
Well, our taste buds are clearly very different.
Ooh, I'm a Sally apparently.
That should be the 701. I think that
Yeah, it comes down a little bit.
a little
I think
step
Cindy.
down.
Okay, this one doesn't seem so bad.
Yeah, it comes down a little bit. It gives you a moment.
Okay, I need a moment.
Yeah, the 701 and the Scotch Bonnet, I'd say if it's going to step down a little bit, those would be the two that.
Okay, this one I can tolerate.
Well, probably because your mouth is already on fire.
Yeah, I think I'm there. I think our jobs are probably not a lot where we, especially in the criminal side, where you have a lot of lighthearted moments. But I can just remember I had this case one time, and obviously I won't use any names, but this gentleman had been stopped, and he had marijuana on him, and I think somebody else called it in or something, and officer shows up on scene and suspects that the gentleman is got possession of marijuana, and I think this gentleman ends up going into a bathroom at one of the gas stations in town,
Okay.
and proceeds to ingest his weed because he doesn't want to get caught with it. And so the officer comes out and clearly suspects, and he says to him, he's like, "Dude, you ate your weed?" and it was just the most hilarious thing when you actually watch it on the body cam. And I was thinking,
Like a
man,
Super
oh
Trooper
man,
moment.
Yeah.
oh wow. But yeah, that one, for whatever reason, that one just it resonates with me as I'm eating these wings on just things you do, you know. It's like, man, I would never have thought you would have just went into the bathroom and just
Like Super
Ate it.
Trooper style?
Super Trooper. Exactly.
just down it. I'm like, wow, I guess, I don't know.
Wasn't any like, you got some weed in your teeth kind of moments there?
Did you eat
It's
your
sometimes watching the body cams when you're like, that's actually really funny. So like recently, I had went into somebody else's body cam to watch a stop because we've been trying to make contact with somebody.
Yep.
And the only thing this officer, I was laughing so hard, and maybe it's not funny to anybody else, but it was funny to me. But this man, adult man, was crying, and the officer was like, "Stop crying, man! Just get in the car! Like, stop crying!" Like, and those are the moments that you're like, it's kind of funny. Like, I wouldn't have told somebody to just stop being a crybaby. You'll know who I'm talking
Don't
about.
whine about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're alive over there.
I feel better now. I feel like this number 4 is my friend. The other 3, not so much.
Well, since your mouth is coming down a little bit,
Okay.
what's a part of your job that the public would be super surprised about? And I know we touched on, the long hours, but what's something that would be fun for them to learn? And with that, evening number 5.
What's part of your job that the public would be surprised? Oh,
You can go ahead, Tiffany.
that we spend. So as a detective, like a lot of my time is not actually spent investigating cases. It's spent writing the reports.
Okay.
And I think sometimes we forget that there's a lot of work outside of just investigating crime, and like we have more than one case on our caseload regularly. So sometimes like I think the public thinks that that's the only thing we're working on is what comes to us about them, and not saying it's not important or anything, but just saying like, we have a lot of stuff that we're working, and there's a lot of people involved, and we spend a lot of our time writing the reports trying to remember how we got to where we are, because she's going to be mad if she doesn't know by reading our report how we got to where we were, or how we found evidence, or what we did, and we were like, yeah, or she'll be like, why didn't you do this? I'm like, oh, I did I not write it down? Because I have forgot to write things in my reports before. But I think people are really surprised when they learn, like, for every hour that you spend on a call, there's probably about 3 to 4 hours worth of report writing and back end stuff to do. So,
Well, I'd say that's probably a lot of like the media portrayal of it. You know, they show the action part, but they don't show the actual, how do you support that and spend the time on it. And then TV also always is focused on one case. They don't show that that officer on
Doing more
TV
than
might
one.
be doing multiple.
yes.
Is that a good one
This
for you?
one's not
That was not
spicy.
bad. That was not bad.
That one's actually typically everybody's favorite as they go through it. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's my favorite. I kind of like the spice, but that might be your favorite, weirdo. You should probably save some for later so you can come back when your mouth is on fire.
I would say the number of cases that my office prosecutes at one time is
Okay.
quite astonishing. We'll have, it's hard to even say how many active cases we have at a time, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's triple digits.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And just because we have cases that are currently funneling through the system, whether it's district court, municipal court, and so there's a lot of moving parts a lot of the time, and so we all kind of carry a great responsibility internally within our office. But like I said, yeah, I anyway have 100 open active cases at a time between DUIs, simple assaults, domestic violence cases, and we're just
Yep.
getting through the system. But yeah, I'd say sometimes it's probably triple digits, and we probably prosecute between all of that over 1,000 cases potentially a year, depending on the numbers. So it's a lot that goes through our office quite a bit on a daily basis.
And how many people are in your office?
I have myself, 2 other attorneys, and then 3 staff. And
Okay.
so any particular day, any one person, and any of the individuals in my office would be potentially touching a city
Yep.
case, where it's coming through and having individuals come into our office and talk to us directly about certain citations or telephone calls. There's a lot of work that goes into that, prosecuting a case start to finish, and trying to get individuals, especially the ones that are really trying to get their case resolved very quickly and,
Yep.
and want to just put it behind them and whatnot. We try to accommodate them as much as we can. It's never an interesting time to be involved in the legal system as a defendant, so we try to accommodate. But like I said, the amount of time that it takes to do that and the amount of resources it takes is quite substantial.
Okay.
All right. So before the next one, if you could switch jobs with anybody in the city, who would it be and why?
I have the perfect answer.
Go ahead. Tiffany.
Is it just for a day?
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I would do it for a couple days, but I'm gonna go mow lawns. I'm gonna put my headphones in, and I am gonna go find whoever mows the lawns, and I'm gonna switch with them, and I am gonna go mow some lawns. That's what I'm gonna do.
Mow lawns.
Yep.
All right.
I really like what I do, and I like my job, so to come up with something that I would switch, but I love to mow lawns, so if we're talking about switching with somebody for a day, I'm just gonna go mow a lawn. You know why?
Loves to mow lawns.
I am not generating a case report or having to write reports or do anything while I'm mowing a lawn.
Yeah, that's a solid answer.
I think so. You can take it too.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know that you're much of a lawnmower, but
I do.
You might be.
I do. I do. I'm a good lawn there. As far as that,
Like a tutor on horn, but
Yeah, I mean,
She'll
not
give
gonna
you a
lie,
demo
I got
later.
that. I got that push mower, so I got that.
I can't wait for you to try 5. Or I mean 6. Wait, 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6.
and we're 6.
Was it gonna burn my mouth?
Yup.
Way to ease me into it.
Way to
I'm
warn
not
her
gonna
on it.
sugarcoat with that.
Okay.
That's a good one, but you're not gonna like it.
That's the one that Corey actually said was his favorite.
Yes, I think Corey likes
It's
6.
good, but she's not gonna like it. Did you see her at 1?
It's got a really bad aftertaste. It's like diesel.
Okay, I did not get the diesel taste.
Have you tasted diesel lately or something?
It smells like, it tastes like diesel.
I've heard chimney. I've heard smoked. I've heard overly smoked or inside of a smoker.
I can't.
So you just take another bite?
I can't do it.
Diesel's definitely a new one.
It tastes like diesel smells.
I thought that there was just a little spice to that she was not going to like that. Whatever you do not rub your eyes, though.
Oh.
You thought there was just a little spice to it?
Yeah,
You're welcome to eat the whole thing.
I might.
You want mine?
No.
Oh, God. Okay, switch jobs. Whew.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We gave you a break with 4 and 5.
It's so unpleasant.
All I can do is laugh.
I was gonna say she must have got a different wing than I got.
Okay, switching jobs.
I'm making a mess.
It's a toss-up. I mean, it would be interesting to see what it's like in the life of a police officer on the street versus what I see behind the scenes after the fact. And I think putting on a uniform is pretty cool. I think there's a certain level of pride when it comes when you don the uniform and you go out in the public. But then I'd also say, I know it's going to sound really weird, but we did a tour a while ago with some of the executive team members, and we went to the wastewater treatment facility. The smell is terrible. It smells terrible.
I will agree with that.
I was going to say, the smell, the taste,
science,
the air.
the science that goes into what those guys do
It was
out
impressive.
there. You walk in and you're looking at, like, it looks like a chemistry lab when you've got beakers. And I was like going back to my 7th grade chemistry class. And it's amazing to me, like I said, the level of science that goes into that people just don't understand. They think wastewater, they think, but it's the science, and that to me is really, really cool.
Well, I think most people think of it as like a fully mechanical process. They don't realize that you use the bacteria as an actual natural process to
and getting your
break it
beaker
down.
out and checking your chemicals and doing all those things. So it's fascinating to me.
Yeah.
I would agree. I didn't realize how big the process was until working here.
Right?
I didn't enjoy that one.
Christina's still alive. We're good.
Barely.
Hold on. I apologize. I need some lemonade. I'm just gonna set that there because I'm gonna need it. Okay, I'm good.
Whose idea was this?
Yours? Nope, mine.
Oh,
Ours.
it's so uncomfortable. Okay.
I think this
We are
came out of a
making somebody's
commission
day
meeting
right now.
once. They approached us, and I said, I'll only do it if Christina does it.
Oh, I made some terrible decisions, but
If you would have just said no, I wouldn't have done it either.
So before the next one, what is one TV legal cliche that just makes you roll your eyes?
legal cliche.
And enjoy Wing 7.
What's one? Legal cliche. 60 minutes? I'm just kidding. I already said that. Small bites. Oh, I like the flavor of this one.
That's brainstorm.
Okay, on average, how long does your mouth feel like this after you're done?
A minute? 2 minutes?
Like with this wing or with the hottest?
No,
of the
just like
wing?
in general with the whole.
Just by the time she's done.
I want to know how long I'm going to be
maybe.
breathing fire.
5-10 minutes, maybe.
I feel like you're lying to me. Okay, this one's better than the last one.
This one's good.
I can. It's still hot,
It's hot.
but
You
But it's
guys
got
have
flavor.
enjoyed both
But it's-
sauces that's actually made in North Dakota, so.
Yeah, both of the bins are made in West Fargo.
okay, it's better than the last one.
I would say this one I think sneaks up on you a little bit more, but
Okay, great. Give me you're saying wait a few and then
so wait a
my
minute
mouth
on
will
it,
really
but
start to burn. Okay.
I think you gotta answer this question first.
Okay. I would say that on the legal side, if I have probably more on the private side, or even on the civil side or the city attorney stuff, the prosecution. When someone calls or says, I need a lawyer that's a bulldog, and
All right.
and it's like, to me, in the legal profession, we take that to mean someone who is highly aggressive, who, you can be really good at being an attorney and be nice and professional. And I would say that other attorneys, the court, judges don't really appreciate dealing with that type of behavior. So you can get a lot more done as an attorney for your client or the city, or even working with defendants, being professional and being amicable and just being nice and not being super aggressive.
You probably come across better to the jury as well.
Oh, absolutely. And so this idea, this concept that you have to be just this aggressive menace, it just doesn't work. It's never worked. And I think it's just being professional and being kind when you need to be, and especially when you're dealing with, defendants that,
Snuck up on her.
Yeah,
there it is.
defendants that might be in trouble for the first time, and they've never, this is like a major thing in their life, and to show a little bit of compassion when needed, and treat them with respect and things of that nature. So you don't have to be a jerk. You can be nice and so. But yeah, I would say that would be the one legal cliche that just kind of drives me batty when I have people call and say, I need a bulldog. I'm like, that's not.
I honestly thought you were going a different way with that. I thought you were going to go with the bulldog. I want somebody who wants to win.
Oh yeah, I mean, and
I was like, two takes case not wanting to win.
Every attorney wants to win.
Yeah.
It's just this idea, this concept that you have to be a jerk to do it, and that's not how it works.
I thought once you went that way, I thought you were going to say, and then I handed my card. Now you've inhaled it.
All those pre-names, the name cards this long.
Oh, holy buckets. Okay, I'm done with number 7.
I think, I don't know. I think on our end, like a police thing, I don't know if it's necessarily anything. I don't know. When people, there's a couple different things. Sometimes people will be like, I want to be a police officer, but I'm not mean enough. And I'm like, well, I'm definitely not mean.
I really disagree with that one.
I'm like,
With Tiffany
I've heard different stories.
Sometimes when I need to be, and then like the other one is like, you go to deal with someone and the first thing they say is, I know my rights, and you're like, oh my God, please stop. I actually don't think you do. So I mean, or you're talking to someone and then they're like, well, you didn't do this, and I'm like, I didn't need to do that. You're like, okay. So I mean, I think TV just in general has given us like a false perception on what both of our rules are and like what we can and can't do.
Yeah.
And what we should do and when we need to do it. Because I think people think that when we pull them over, like the minute we pull them over, we have to read them Miranda rights. And that's not true. No. I can actually interview someone without reading them Miranda rights as long as I'm not interrogating and they're free to leave. Those kinds of things. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But yeah, I think one of the biggest ones is when people think that they want to be police officers and they're like, oh, I'm just not mean enough. And I'm like, can you stand up for yourself? Because you don't need to necessarily be mean. And actually, we sometimes can put out a lot of fire with a lot of sugar. So
I would agree. I think Tiffany's spot on, especially when I read reports and watch body cam footage and see our officers interact with individuals. They have the uncanny ability, and some of them are really, really good at it, to de-escalate a situation just with how to interact with someone. And like I said, it comes with being professional, it comes with being kind, just listening in a lot of respects. And there's an art in that, and I think our officers do a fantastic job of it. Every situation's different. Everything is, you could be dealing with a very intense domestic violence situation, or dealing with someone on a traffic stop that could turn into something more. But being able to gauge it and make an appropriate decision in the field is pretty impressive. And I think that Tiffany's also right. That see, you're right in a lot of things.
Thank you. Tell my bosses.
I will. I will. That what we see on TV is not what it is in real life, and what people think, what the legal profession is, and how it applies to the police, and what their rights are. I would encourage everyone to do a deeper dive and really educate themselves on what actually is.
What actually takes place and how it goes.
And it's not, again, what you generally see on TV.
Yep.
So I've been educated wrong watching all those Brazilian Isles and stuff, and here I'm learning a lot, and it's not the right way.
Some of it's pretty factual. I mean, like if you want to go back and watch like the really old Law and Order, like the
original.
Like
the original.
I liked it.
That is actually very, when it gets, when the lawyers get involved and they talk about, suppression issues and all those things, it's actually really spot on. Where you kind of get off the rails a little bit, and the theatrical part of it is where you're, approaching the witness stand and yelling at someone and,
Trying to
can't
make them-
handle the truth. Judges don't let us do that.
drama.
So
Trying to make them cry.
Yeah,
Why?
it just doesn't, in real life, it doesn't work that way, and it doesn't happen that way.
I think you guys need some Kleenexes in here. Anyway,
Now, as we enjoy Wing 8.
7, 8,
7,
8.
8,
8.
4, 5, 6, 8. We're on wing 8.
Yeah.
12.
As we enjoy Wing 8, how do you guys handle a tough day of stress, whether it be from a caseload, whether it be from a traffic stop? Just how do you guys handle that and enjoy Wing 8?
I've been doing policing for long enough now that for the most part I can separate work from going home. So even if it's a stressful or a tough day, I have tough cases, and I will sometimes think about them constantly at home, but I don't let them necessarily affect my personal life. But I'm gonna go get some ice cream or eat my feelings away or call. I have a tendency to talk to another attorney in our area regularly. When I'm frustrated, but I mean, for the most part, I'll go home, sit on the deck, watch TV, listen to music, read a book. There's lots of things I can do to de-stress. Are you even going to be able to answer this question? What are you going to do after this? Because I feel like this is stressful for you.
I need a moment. Ooh. Oh my God. I'm starting to sweat. This is so hot. This is really hot. Oh God, this is terrible.
Which one is this one?
The bomb.
That was known as the bomb.
Oh God.
Yeah, it is. I'd love to say it's everybody's favorite, but I'd be lying.
This has no flavor. It's just like
Straight heat.
something just straight went off in your mouth, and it's like
The bomb went off.
That's why the bomb. Yeah.
it's like
Its logo,
there's no flavor
its
to this.
logo is literally like the atomic nuke.
I don't enjoy that one at all. You don't either.
Oh God, it's not helping. That's terrible. How do I handle stress after a long day? Oh. This is so.
I just had a little bit of smoothie come out my nose.
Smoothie.
It's a good smoothie.
I'm gonna cry from that one.
That reaction's making the card more than a wing.
But you can't touch your eyes.
We actually
burn.
learned very early on with this wing.
Oh my
was
God.
to eat it before any of the guests do, because they make you laugh, and while you have it by your mouth and you inhale, it's terrible.
Yeah, don't inhale that while you're laughing.
My eyes are watering, but it's because I'm laughing at her.
Yep.
And now I don't know what part of my napkin can touch my eyes. That is awful. I do not enjoy that one. Lemonade. Go for it.
Sorry, Christina, we might be laughing at you at this point.
It's so bad. Oh, I thought you were tough. Oh, you're great. Oh God.
It is on, my mouth is on fire and it's like radiating through my nose and I don't enjoy this, but
I'll let you know a little secret. If you have it 3 times in a row, you don't taste it
You don't
anymore.
taste it after that.
I feel like you're lying.
Oh no. We took it and had it with public safety, and we made them draw cards for what they were getting. We ate the bomb 3 times in that day.
Oh, we got some more of this.
You got any more almond milk?
Yep.
What'd you do with it?
It's in the refrigerator.
Oh, where's the refrigerator?
Hold on, I'll go grab it.
He'll go grab it while you answer the question.
can you grab a like dry napkin? I'm afraid I'm gonna touch my eyes.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. So how would you de-stress after this?
Okay, so okay. My stress reliever. I work out a lot. I go to the gym. I teach cycling classes.
Oh, I should do that. Not teach. Go to the
I,
gym.
I'll just take the gallon or the half gallon. Whew. Okay.
I touch my eyes with.
Whew.
It's on fire.
It's acceptable
there
to
you
chug
go.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like touch my eyes with fingers.
Yeah,
Because
You
it's
wear-
on
do you wear
it's burned.
contacts? Oh,
you'll regret that the next time you put those in.
yeah.
I've never loved almond milk so much my whole life.
I think you could be a commercial for them. You know, like the old style milk mustache commercials that says,
Okay.
I've never loved it so
I
much.
think it calmed a little bit.
No, it did not.
Cycling, working out.
But I would say, for me, it's really hard to turn off. When I go home, I've got so many things going on. I'm usually get home. I go home, eat, I get back to working. So it's hard for me to shut it off because you're always thinking about deadlines, your cases, your clients, making sure that you're communicating effectively and efficiently and timely, and
It just keeps coming back.
Are the next 2 worse?
yeah.
No.
So it's like I said, for me it'd be really hard to shut it off, and like I said, for me stress relief comes from
Not this.
working out, going to the gym. I read. I'm just gonna drink and let it sit there in my mouth.
It's not working. I'm good though.
You're just gonna hold it in there.
You
It
ready for
only
that?
gets better from here now.
It what?
It gets better from here.
Oh, I don't know if that's possible.
Oh my god. I think the bomb should be last.
Oh God.
So what's some advice you've got in your career that has just stuck with you? What's some good advice?
I would say it would for me.
Answer this before you take another bite.
Oh, okay. I gotta just load up a little.
Load up before
That
ring
one's got
9.
some nice flavor.
Okay, you good? I haven't eaten it yet.
It's flavorful at least.
What does that mean?
Like this had no flavor.
What, this one?
Yeah.
Okay, you go.
You want me to go or you want to answer
I
before you
gotta
take a
eat
bite?
it first.
Okay.
Just trying to numb the bomb
I
still
think-
got her.
I think the biggest thing that stuck with me is just like talk to people as though like how you would want to be talked to if you found yourself in a crappy situation. Like people make decisions or make mistakes. Like we don't know what's going on in their lives at that time, but like when we talk to them, when we talk to them, like we should still be treating them with respect. Like the justice system is hard. Being in trouble is hard. It creates a lot more stress and a lot more issues in people's lives. Like, we don't have to be assholes. I think that's, and I've, from the time that I started in law enforcement to today, actually from the time I started in the prison system to today, that's just what I've lived by, is talking.
As an officer or as an inmate?
I was not there as an inmate. Whew. Whew. As a correctional officer. But that's a whole different world. I would be supervising a unit by myself as I was 21 years old.
Okay.
You just young female, and it's an all-male prison, a medium security prison, and I'd have 70 some odd inmates. So you'll want to talk really nicely because you know who's going to help you when
Yep.
when things go south really fast, the inmates that you've treated nicely.
Yep.
like, but I mean, I worked by a lot of my shifts early on in my law enforcement career, I was working by myself because we had maybe 10 we were slotted for 10 officers total.
Yep.
That does not mean that we had 10 officers employed. And so there were many times that I would be working a night shift by myself, and there's nobody else out there. Like, you really do want to talk to people very nicely.
Yep.
I remember one time a guy was siphoning gas out of vehicles, and I had... Is that what you feel like you're doing today?
Siphoning it right out of his jug.
And I pulled up, and I was talking to him, and I could see, like, the trail of gas going from, like, one side of the street to the other side of the street. And I'm talking to him, and he gives me this name. It's not coming back in the system. His name is not coming back. It's just saying, like, it's negative, but there's no return on it, meaning, like, they've never had a driver's license. Like, it just, things aren't adding up for a 50-some-odd-year-old man, 40-some-odd-year-old man. And eventually, I was able to talk him into, I was like, hey, man, like, you're just not coming back in the system. Were you licensed anywhere else? No. And I was able to talk him into getting into my police car. I said, and I at this point knew that he was probably lying to me, but I also don't want to fight with him in a dark roadway in the middle of the night with no backup, like anywhere. Sheriff's Department was home, whatnot. Hey, man, like, I just need to take you to the police department. I'm going to run your fingerprints, and then you'll be good to go. And he goes, like, are you, and I knew something was up when he goes, are you going to do it electronically or, like, ink? And I'm like, well, the police department, we don't have the electronic version. We do it by ink. And he goes, okay. Gets in my car, in the back seat of my car. And he knew as soon as, I'm trying to give you some time.
I'm listening.
He knew as soon as I pulled into the Sally Port of the jail that he's like, oh man, I got. Because go to let him out of the car, and I said, well, they have the electronic machine here. And he goes, I'm surprised you didn't recognize me from the prison. I was like, I did not at that time. But he was one of the inmates that was at the prison that I worked at. He goes, I thought for sure you were going to know who I am. He tells me his name. He had a warrant for his arrest and whatnot. And I was like, Jesus. Anyway, are you good?
Cheers now.
This one at least has some flavor.
She used that superpower for you.
It wasn't as bad as the last one.
No, my mouth is still recovering from the last one.
I would say the best advice I've ever gotten as an attorney came from my former partner and boss and mentor, Chuck Peterson. He told me very on when I started practicing, he just said, let your work speak for itself. Mm-hmm. And I've always taken that to heart and really embodied that, and it's served me well, I think. But I think that applies in just any profession, especially even with the city. It's just let your work speak for itself, and the rest will fall into place. If you care about what you do, and you care about those that you work with, and you care about what your work product is, that's an admirable thing. And I definitely see that a lot, especially working with our police officers and with the city staff. And I get the privilege of working with everyone. And I get, my position is a little unique because I get to see a little bit of every department and get to work with everyone. And truly, I can say it and say that across the board, I feel like everybody at the city is they care about what they do. They care about who they're working with, and it's refreshing. It really is. But just care about what you do, and like I said, let your work speak for itself. And I think that's good advice, no matter whether you're in IT, you're in the police department, you're utility billing, you're in the court, whatever it is. I think people will respect that and really appreciate it. And working with the police officers, it's such a breath of fresh air, and everybody is, like I said, from Tiffany to all the other officers on the street to admin all the way down. It's such a privilege to get to work with those guys, and I'm truly grateful for it. And in addition, like I said, just working with everybody across the city, and it's just a great group of people, and I think everybody really tries and to do their very best at whatever it is, and I think it really benefits the city at the end of the day. So kind of a long-winded answer, but that's kind of how I see it.
Excellent.
Nice to hear it. Now, as we eat Wing 10, of course being the last wing, what's one message you'd like for the community to take away from this that really is from the hearts of law enforcement and attorneys defending the city or just defending people in general.
Okay, so is the last one the worst one?
Yet to be determined.
Let's go over unit wise is the highest. But
You're not going to enjoy it.
Great. Okay.
Fill it up.
Just gonna prepare in advance.
I would have never thought you would have drank so much almond milk in my
Oh,
life.
me either.
Unsweetened at
It's,
that.
it's your new favorite
Smooth and
beverage.
seriously creamy.
I just want to
I was going to
advertise
say, this is going to be an advertisement for Silk.
For Silk almond milk. That is
Terrible? Terrible.
terrible is definitely the word you will use.
Okay, so which one? Is this one this one?
It's a mix of the
what?
last two sauces.
So the scorpion's the under
What the?
Why would you do that to us?
Why would you mix them?
because it gives it a better flavor. Otherwise, it is absolutely horrible. But the
I feel like we're already there. Absolutely horrible.
That felt like the bomb put us there.
Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay, one message I'd like the community to take away about the people behind the law enforcement. We are people too. Sometimes, like, we see a lot of people, we deal with a lot of people, we deal with a lot of people in their worst moments. We deal with a lot of people in their worst moments that don't want to change those worst moments.
Holy. Oh, sorry to
I
interrupt.
warned you. But we also have lives outside of work, or try to have lives outside of work, and that we are people too. Like, when you're talking to us or you're hating on us or whatever your opinions of us are, like, we also, like, are humans, and
Yeah.
we understand, like, we're not we are here to do a job, and that is really awful.
He's terrible.
Your turn. More so, we're just humans. Like, we're all human.
good
It's a good
takeaway.
lesson to put that.
I'm gonna continue to eat this though, because I don't hate it.
This last one?
Yep.
Oh, yuck. Ugh. That tastes like the other one. That tastes like
I don't get the diesel.
diesel
I guess I've not siphoned enough gas in my life to.
in the back of your throat.
What did you do as a child?
Siphoned a lot of gas.
I can
diesel.
smell it. It's like right there. Is it in the back of your throat?
I can't smell anything right now.
So I can smell everything. My sinuses are nice
Yeah.
and clear right now.
My sinus is very clear. My nose has been
Best
running.
side effect.
It's like right on the
Just
roof
think,
of my mouth.
if you had an illness that was even a cold that was even getting ready to
killed
start,
it.
you just burned it out of your
It's-
body.
Saved you any medical visits right there.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
I wonder how terrible this will be later today.
Okay. Oh, it's terrible.
That's Corey.
You said it was 5 to 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, in your mouth.
Mine's worn off.
Oh my God, that is so terrible. Okay, one message to the city. Okay,
It's not that bad.
I would say that at least when it comes to mine, as the city prosecutor, city attorney, I sometimes have citizens reach out and say, well, I have this issue.
Burning mouth
And then
syndrome.
then we'll talk about it. And then I'll realize, okay, it's not an issue the city can deal with.
Yep.
We get that.
Maybe
with
it's a
police
personal,
too.
maybe it's a neighbor issue where your neighbor is doing something on his or her property that, oh God. And then it's like the city can't fix all those problems. That's a private property issue. That's not a city issue. So just the recognizing that there are certain things that the city just cannot legally get involved in or doesn't have the legal authority to do so.
Yeah, it's always fun to see the balance between the people that think there's a lot of government overreach, and then you get the flip side where they want them involved because their neighbor did whatever that they don't really agree with or don't care about.
And there's like some of that stuff we can deal with from a planning and zoning perspective, but some of that we can't.
Now, this one's mainly for you, Christina, because I know you're a huge fan of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
If Gollum committed a crime in Dickinson, would you charge him as Smeagol and Gollum separately, or would you charge him as one single defendant?
Oh, one crime.
Wouldn't
Okay.
this be the same as like people with multiple
So
personalities?
it's like a bipolar disorder kind of thing. That's how I see it.
I would say I would charge him individually as an alias, perhaps, because it's the same person, and I would just charge him as one defendant. It would be make for one heck of a jury selection.
I was gonna say, looking at that, I'm like, he'd be arrested as one person.
Yeah.
It'd be an alias.
Well, which was your guys' least favorite sauce or your favorite sauce?
I'm
I always
like
like to hear.
sweating from the back of my throat.
You're already
hurts.
sweating or you're sweating?
All of it.
Okay, how's this go away?
Time and dissipation.
Oh no.
I think. Which one was the bomb?
Eight.
Yep.
8. I think I really liked the flavor of number 9.
Alice Cooper's Poison.
Yep, Alice Cooper.
But what was that? What was the
That's number 4 was
Brainstorm.
Where was Brainstorm?
Number 7, right before the bomb.
I really liked that one.
Yeah, that one is good.
Yeah. I did not. It had no flavor at all. It was just miserable in my mouth. Was the bomb.
I think everybody says that.
That had no flavor. Like, at least if you're gonna like kill me, at least make it flavorful.
Please kill me with flavor.
Like, at least make it enjoyable.
Well, I thought it tasted like diesel.
So it had flavor. According to Christina.
Yeah,
there.
diesel.
Like
the
right
flavor.
right in the back of my least favorite.
And I'm like a little bit dizzy right at the moment, mostly because I found fire still.
Okay.
But I don't want to be like Corey Lee either. I feel like I just watched his and he did not take it well.
So he hyped it up is what you're saying. It wasn't as bad. He made it look really bad.
I think he's just a baby.
As you sit next to Christina, who just drank half a gallon of almond butter.
We won't talk about what she is.
Yeah. I would say
She did enjoy starting at 1.
yeah. The bomb. I hate you. And then these whatever combination hot mess whatever that
Queen
is.
Majesty and Last Dab.
Like I said, it tastes like diesel. The favorite, one of those two, because I could actually eat it without wanting to.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
Four.
701 or,
Wanting to,
or
like,
Scotch Bonnet.
chug a giant glass of milk.
Well, we'd like to thank both of you for joining us today.
A little warm.
We'd like to thank everybody online that's going to watch this. If you like what you see or you want to see another department or community member take part in this, please like, subscribe, and let us know below. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Anytime.
Okay, next week.
Just keep coming back on later today.